Hey, welcome back. 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan. Get a little bit more light going in here. I checked the vehicle. Long story short, alternator is dead. It needs an alternator. Bada bing, bada boom. So here we got, bring you along what you shouldn't do. Bring you along and show you the things that you should never do. Okay, put a little bit of charge in this thing, of course. And actually, since we're going to unhook that anyway, let me go ahead and pause this up and remove that. Alright, one more and again. So, customer done went and bought the new battery. Alright, now, kind of follow along here. This thing here is pretty loose. I just actually, a while ago, crammed it up there a little bit. They didn't manage to get, no, they didn't. Okay, negative is loose. Positive is loose as well. You take my word for that. There it is. So it's loose. And they probably cross-threaded the bolt that holds the battery in because it's just sitting there, it's stuck. I hope I can get it to turn in, but it doesn't matter. Makes no difference. The vehicle is here in the shop, so fixing is what we do. Nope, I take it back. They just didn't tighten it down. Okay, we want to take a look at our battery cable. That actually looks pretty bad. That looks pretty bad, and I just grabbed the wrong socket. Yep. Because this is an aftermarket post, so it would be an 11. Yeah, they just ripped that off. Okay, I see what they did. I see what they did there. So they just ripped it off here, or cut it, or whatever it is they did. So actually, that's not that bad. We can actually go with that. Might put a lug on it. Of course, this cable is only so long, so we can't mess around with it too much. Truth to be known, I'm probably going to leave that alone. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. We need to remove the airbox of the vehicle. So, first things first. Let me flip this around. I hope that fan doesn't give me all kinds of grief. I like that little fan pretty good, but it's been giving me some grief making these videos. So, unplug our breather hose. Get that laid off to the side. I'm going to undo it back there, 8mm. In case you're wondering. Let's back up here. Book time, 1.5 hours. I know some of you are interested in knowing that. 1.5 hours is the book time on this. Glad it's got a decent air cleaner in it. So, this back here floats. That down there floats. Everything on here sits on grommets. We've got to undo our reservoir. 13 mil. Yay. I'll clean the housing out a little bit for him. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit better than that too, so don't get your pennies in a twist. Then get a light. I'm pretty tired. I'm dragging a little bit, so bear with me on this, folks. Oh, can I reach in there? Can I reach in there? Can I reach in there? Yes, I can reach in there now. I think this is doable. Tensioner is over here in the back. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I turn the screen around. So once the air box is removed, the tensioner is over here. I don't think we have to raise the vehicle. We might have to raise the vehicle. I don't think so. I do believe I have done it before without. So the alternator sits right under here. Hopefully we can see that. It's right there. One can see that. There is, what you cannot see is, let's see if I get that light just right and the hose out of my way. What you cannot see is, yeah, you might be able to see it. 2 bolts on the top, and there is a bolt over here. Let me get in there. Take your camera. That's what you get for me doing this. But it's right down here. Hopefully you'll see that, because I don't know if the camera picked it up or not. My eyes are getting worse, ladies and gentlemen, so sorry. But anyway, now you know that. I'm just going to keep the camera right there. 15, I think. Maybe a 13 though, I can't remember. Where am I at? Now that is a 13 millimeter. Do 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 do. Alright, so let's attack the belt. Let me see if I can get to it. You normally would raise the vehicle, remove this wheel. Let me flip that screen around. Remove this wheel on the passenger side. Remove the cover. There's a cover that bolts onto the frame right there. You normally do that and reach in there. I don't think I have to do that. I might. I might still have to do that. And I also don't remember if this is going to be a 1/2 inch hex or a 3/8 hex. It is a 3/8. I thought it was. Okay, 3/8 hex. Ratchet be coming up. Get my big hands in here. We might be able to do that without losing the belt altogether. I would sure love for that to happen. Or should I say, I would sure love for that not to happen. Our battery is disconnected, obviously, so we don't have to do that. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what the heck, something went in my throat. The engine computer will generate a pulse width modulated signal that controls the on and off time for the charging circuit. My God. I will get to that maybe here in a minute. I don't know. Don't know if I do or don't. Vehicle's got 200,000 miles on it. Some folks be going nuts. Somebody surely is going to pick up on that and say, you got to test it before you take it out. What's wrong with you? Well, I'm going to tell you, customer don't want to pay for that. Customer wants to pay as little as possible, and we're going to help them out with that. Like I said, I did check. So actually, let me show you this. This is our actual plug, and our generator field control is brown and gray wire that's located on that plug. But Chrysler also gives us, on the computer, it tells us it's pin 40. So 24 counting to 40, and that should be our pin as well. If we want to pick it up there, we can. We can do it both ways. We can back probe it on the bottom. We can pick it up on the computer itself. Shallow 13. Somebody was complaining not too long ago in one of my videos about me using a ratchet for a breaker bar. Guess what, fellers? This is 1/4-inch drive. Look how long that is. If Snap-on didn't think that could hold up, they wouldn't have built it. All kinds of nice little sharp edges over here, so I'm taking my time, and I don't feel like adding any more cuts, scrapes, bruises, anything like that. We're going to take our time and go slow. Ain't no rush. If I said it one time, I said it 100 times. If in doubt, go get your part, look at the part, then you know where the bolts are located. It's really that simple. And by the way, of course, the stud down here for your positive wire, that would be a 13 as well. I didn't mention that. I guess I should have. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, I didn't. We'll remove a little clip there off to the side. That'll give us a little bit more room. Just over here. Let's that cable flex a little bit more. There we go. You'll see what I'm talking about later on when you're doing it. This is really not that big of a deal. I'm going to try to reach down in there and get that lug undone. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Ooh. That ain't gonna work. Maybe I can get this down there. I don't know what I did the last time. I don't recall changing too many of these here. I don't think it's a problem item on these vehicles. It may be. I'm not going to argue the fact, but I don't think it is. I don't recall having done that many of them. Of course, at this mileage, something like that is to be expected. Take a different approach here, see if I can reach down there. Oh wow. This is going to be pig-headed, and I can't see. Okay, it is time for my sockets. You don't see these very often. I recommend anybody get them a couple of sets of these. That's a half socket. There's a half deep. These can come in very handy, especially when a shallow doesn't quite do it, but yet you need something shorter. Boom, perfect. You guys are a little bit in the way here. Oh wow, that thing is crazy, crazy, crazy tight. I'm gonna have to get you, that's where the wind machine is at too. I'm gonna have to put you over here for right now. Let me get this loosened up. I'll pause that camera up. I'm gonna get that loosened up. I can tell you this much, that was the tightest terminal bolt that I've ever had. I mean, that thing was stupid tight. I suppose at least it didn't fall off of there, so that's definitely an original. The terminal right there is pretty cruddy. The lock is not sliding for me. My God, that's on there as well. Let me flip that screen. So right there is our plug. Right there is our plug. And just a 2-wire, like I said. So this is sitting that way. It'll be the topmost wire. That's the control. That's computer control for the alternator. I'm going to flip that screen around again and pause you up for just a second. Naturally, we had another interruption. Customer came up to pick up a key that I made. Get your locking tab undone on this wire for the fan. Good Lord, them things are in there. Brittle. Trying to be easy with it. Oh, I gotta undo the wire that feeds this connector right here. Undo a couple of clips. And unplug our fan wire. We'll have to have a pick for that one to get the lock tab off of it. This overflow tank very easily, it just lifts up, pull it out a little bit, and it'll drop out of your way. Fan assembly, I don't know if I can show you this. It's also very easy. I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to flip it upside down. There is a tab right here. All you got to do is press in on that and lift up. That's all we have to do. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really, really easy for that to move. That's it. That was it on that side. Of course, we've got another one on the other side, so we can pull the top out. I don't think that I have to, but we might. I cannot remember. Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. Get these 10 mils off of here, take a second, and do that real quick. Okay, two push nails. No big deal there. Get these here clipped out. Well, I know I shouldn't have said that. Every time I say that, I run into that crap. Alright, yeah, pretty easy to get to. No big deal. A couple underneath. Of course, don't pull on that too hard. You're going to break something. We do not need to put the Gorilla on that, so one more brace. And I think that's it. We'll lay that over the back. Get this lifted up a little bit. Well, now I can get to this plug, hopefully. When I do it with my little pocket screwdriver, I'll grab on whatever. Well, that one wasn't too bad. That honestly wasn't that too bad. Make us a little bit of room. Should have done that first, I guess. Oh. Be careful not to hit the radiator, of course. Ooh, yeah, baby. That one smells burnt. So disregard what I said in the beginning. Take your fan out first. That way, excuse me. That way, it's going to be easier for you to get to all that other stuff. And we don't have to lift anything or none of that good stuff. So there that is. Of course, that stud, you got to slide it forward that way and then just kind of lift it out of here and come in this area right in here. I'm probably yelling right into the camera right now, and just hold that back a little bit and do you do. Well, I'm going to pause this here camera up, get me a rag, wrap that alternator in it, and hit the parts store because it's after hours and they will not deliver after hours. Okay, so I did a little chit-chatting, so it got even later, but anyway, that's either here or there. I hooked this up, I started it up, I was going to show you that. No way in this world that I'm going to leave this car running. That thing is dripping out of the coolant tank right here. It's crazy. I'm not even going to do that. That has nothing to do with me. This thing is doing what it's supposed to do. I was going to show you that, but I'm not going to leave this thing running. I put the alternator back on, you know, put the 3 bolts back on, put your belt back on, of course. You know, I got all that obviously done. I'm going to go ahead and put the radiator fan back in it. Of course, we want to be just as careful going back in with it. They did not bring this to us damaged, so we don't want to damage it now. Get the dipstick out of my wife for just a second. Contrary to what you might think, I'm not forcing anything. I'm not forcing on this thing at all. So don't get no ideas on that. I know that sounded horrible, but I didn't force anything, didn't break anything. Just let that be known. Get get that overflow slip back in where it needs to be. Make sure you do hook that hose back into its home where it came from. Make our electrical connections. So we have to get all that plugged back in. Try to be careful here because that thing is, like I said, it is dry rotted, so. Plug our fans back in, of course. Important. The light that didn't cooperate. Because that ain't the only thing not cooperating right at the moment. There's actually nothing cooperating. Kind of tough to get your hands in that thing. Put your fasteners back in the hole. Now that one here closest to the fan plug, that one was busted. That was not me. Not taking credit for that. Radiator bracket lined up just exact. Pay attention to those. That's the two bolts over here and here on this side. Yeah, you can't see me there, but yeah, you can. That's the bracket that goes over the top of the radiator. You seen me loosen that up earlier. That's the reason I did. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to slip it in anyway, so everything is lined up. There's little dowels right there as well. These are all the same length, by the way. Careful, of course, with the plastic. That thing has actually got dust on this thing, something fierce. Man. Brushed it out a little bit. Slip that right back in its hole. Power steering off the side. Filter, of course, don't know why I'm saying it. Goes without saying, should go without saying. Put our body back on. Once again, 8mm. Cleaned up the hang on. I cleaned up the battery terminal, flipped that around, tightened all that up. I got to tighten the other side up, ground side of it. 10 millimeter, of course, not an 8. Double. All right. Put this back on there, the way it goes. That's tight now, I think. Check that out just a second. Yeah, little push nails put back in before I forget them. I guess I shouldn't have jumped around like that. I don't want to forget that. And our hose plugged back in. There we go. So all that is back together. This is tight, cleaned up and all that good stuff. This should now be tight. They didn't have it on it just right before they tightened it up. I'm gonna put the old CRC on there, battery terminal protector. Stuff is really not the greatest in the world, but it does help. Gotta be better than nothing. Of course, I gotta lay our hose back over. Can't leave it like it is. There it goes. Power steering reservoir. Got both back on it. Power steering reservoir, don't tighten up on that too hard. Be very careful with those. They tend to break, trust me. I had to replace one not too long ago. I kind of cranked on a little bit too hard. This style here is looking the same many years, so no AC, no blower, no anything. Something finally happened on the inside. Sorry about my noggin being in the way. Alternator is charging. I did fully charge the battery. I did do that. 13 volts right now. And I'm not for sure that this is going to work. Don't know what the criteria is. The battery light is off, by the way. Like I said, I checked the operation. The operation is supposed to be good on it. This alternator here is a reman. I'm already not liking it. It is charging without a doubt. Fan is working. 12.5. Doesn't really have good output. I have a high beams on. I got the low beams on. I got the windshield wipers on. Rear defogger on, so. Ow. I'm gonna have to go drive this thing. This has to be driven. Turn on it is 2,000 RPM as per the instructions. So I shall return. So some things up. Voltage did actually come up a little bit, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that alternator is any good or not. We'll know in a couple of days. If I get a phone call and the alternator done gone bad, which I kind of suspect that it will be, I'll know. So I'm going to end the video right here, obviously, since the vehicle's parked outside. We're ready for pickup. It is late in the afternoon, so I got to get going. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do it as you do. We'll catch you on the next one.